America Matters AM News family. They care about you, and we're glad everything's fine.
Okay.
All right, Maria. You take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that's Maria. She sounded a little upset about
She's
that.
definitely upset.
Yeah. Just needed someone to talk to. So, but we gave her the form. But let's go from old to Germany to a third world nation, very underdeveloped, where their slogan is pavement. We don't need no stinking pavement. From the home of Lahontan Mud Puddle at Silver Springs, Nevada, we have Aaron on line 6. Hey, Aaron.
What's up?
Hey, we may not need pavement out here, but we understand hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Is the Donald a man scorned? I got to ask that question this morning. Megyn Kelly claims he was wooing her before he launched into his tirade and went at her. So you kind of got to ask that question there. I see the Dodgers are making you happy, Dennis. Get a little pitch and keep up with the boys up north there.
Yeah, whatever they can buy.
Oh, man. They've had a rich history of pitching, and I have always felt if there was ever going to be a team that would put a woman on the mound before any other team in baseball, it would be them. I really did. I don't know if they ever will or if they'll ever find a female that can compete on the level of a man. That is asking an awful lot of a woman to be able to throw a baseball overhand at about 95, 100 miles an hour.
Well, the world's changing around us. We just recently had 2 women complete ranger training down at Fort Benning, and the standards are the same there. And if they can do it, others can, and it's just a matter of getting the opportunity, I think.
I mean, if you think about the history of the Dodgers as a franchise, they have always been cutting edge, and they've always, and I'm drawing a blank on the original owner, but he was never afraid. He was never afraid to do Branch Rickey. He was never afraid, and he would put it out there, and he had I think, I would have liked to have met him. I think he had a very good time doing what he did in baseball over his career.
Well, I think Mr. Wrigley in Chicago, right at the outbreak of World War II, he had an idea since men were going off to war. The All-American Women's Baseball League was formed.
You know what? That is one of the greatest, a league of their own. Mm-hmm. You know what? And I know I'm going to catch it. I cry every time I see that movie. I cannot watch it without crying. It is really a very, very good movie and pretty accurate, too. And as Tom said, there's no crying in baseball. But speaking of crying, more bad news coming out of property preservation industry about a couple companies not paying, and they're in about $250,000 here. MCS, a company called Mortgage Contract Services, once again is behind the companies. They're providing the work to the companies who in turn sub the work back out and then don't pay the people who complete the work. And then, of course, the company that's not paying the labor, I know this is a very convoluted sounding mess here, and it really is, but the company that does not pay labor in turn blames MCS. MCS blames them, and it's a big blame game. But one of the names that has popped up quite a bit in all the emails and complaints I'm receiving is vendor management team lead Taylor Duch. I think her name is D-U-C-H. I hope I don't mispronounce the young lady's name. But I did speak to her briefly this morning, and she gave a no comment statement, which I can understand. She's not in the media department or the legal department or anything like that, and just to protect the company, she can't say anything. But the fact remains, she has knowledge that these companies are not paying labor, that labor is investing money to get these jobs done, and it boils down to this. These companies like MCS, they have 2 choices. They can outsource everything to a company who in turn is going to sub it out, and there's the risk goes up 10,000% there, or they can go directly to the vendor, like a company like Alladay LLC, and say, do this work for us in your local area. What they have in integrated solutions and extreme property solutions are states that are providing service in 6 states. So they just have those 2 companies to deal with versus 7,000 vendors maybe over those 6 states. And it becomes very convoluted. And again, MCS, a member of the National Association of Mortgage Field Services, and yet that organization will not step in and say, hey, look, this has to stop. You know, they keep allowing the graft and corruption to go on. I don't know. To me, it's insane. And as I advised in the article that I published this morning, to labor, this is an issue where labor has control in this industry, and they do nothing. They need to start filing complaints. They need to start filing liens. They need to start making complaints with attorney generals, district attorneys. If they're crossing state lines, get the feds involved. Start filing RICO complaints. Illinois has already sued Safeguard Properties on RICO violations numerous times and won. So,
you know what, Aaron? The next time you call in, we have a short time now. You have to tell the people how to file these forms, because nobody. Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, from cold morning coffee, you just don't walk out the house and file a RICO claim unless you have some direction. So
we need
to do that.
We need your contact
I
information.
can definitely do that.
Aaron,
775-230-9915.
we need your contact information. Okay, there you go.
Okay, 775-230-9915, folks. HamiltonSkiLine.com for all the ski information up there on the slopes. www.Alliday LLC. And the questions that were just asked and the information, it's on the website. Go take a peek, folks. Hey, 26 degrees outside, nice and crisp. Coffee's hot. It's going to be a great day, folks. Let's have a good time. Let's all be safe out there.
All righty, that's Aaron with Alliday LLC. This is AM News. First 2 hours, they're done. Where'd they go? Don't know. But please stay tuned, because we will be right back.
See ya.